Hey, are you thinking about moving to Las Vegas here in Nevada? And maybe one of the communities you're thinking about is Summerlin. Why wouldn't you? It's a gorgeous community, right? A lot of people that I start speaking to about moving to Las Vegas, one of the first areas they've always thought about is Summerlin. Well, in this video, I'm going to cover some of the things you need to know about living in Summerlin. And stick around to the end because I think the last point is actually going to be quite a cool point. Excuse the pun, and you'll know why when we hit that point. But we're going to start right now. So the first thing to really know about Summerlin is always going to be the location. It's located to the west of the Las Vegas Valley, to the west of the Strip and the airport, and tucked over by sort of the Spring Valley mountain range. Obviously, you've got Red Rock National Conservation Center there as well. So over towards the west of Las Vegas, it is going to be probably, depending on what part of Summerlin, because obviously Summerlin is a huge master planned community. Depending on what part of Summerlin you're in, you're going to be probably around about 30 minutes maybe to get to the Strip, to get to the airport. Now, some parts of Summerlin can be a little bit less than that, but I always want to try and give you the worst case, and I don't think it should really be more than 30 minutes from the majority of Summerlin. So that gives you an idea of, sort of proximity, because that's always going to be important. Very easy access on the freeway. You've got the 215, various different points of Summerlin as well, so different parts of Summerlin you can jump off on the 215, and that's going to really bring you straight down to the Strip, and then obviously you're going to have easy access to the airport as well. And Summerlin is made up of loads of different villages, and those villages all have different themes and different things, and the home styles are a little bit different in them as well, different parks within those villages. And some of the most popular villages off the top of my head are going to be like the Paseos, the Willows, you've got the Cliffs, you've got Summerlin Center, you've also got downtown Summerlin, Red Rock Country Club. I mean, there's so many different villages. Summit as well, obviously, where Mark Wahlberg lives. So there's some really good villages and really good neighborhoods within Summerlin. So although it is a master planned community and they share a lot of similar amenities, which we're going to touch on a little bit later, it is also made up of loads of different villages, and they are all interlinked with the trail system. So very easy to connect through all of them if you like walking and getting in those steps as well. So hopefully that gives you a rough overview of where the area and the location is, and a little bit more. We're going to dive into the next points now as well though. One of the first things to know about Summerlin is the shopping on offer, and by gosh, it has a lot of shopping. Actually, I always call it the Summerlin bubble, and a lot of people who move to Summerlin just end up staying within that area because there's so many great shopping, so many great amenities, so much great entertainment as well. And they don't actually feel the need to go to the Strip or venture too much outside of Summerlin. So in Summerlin, you have obviously downtown Summerlin, and that's going to have so many different stores. There's a big Macy's there. There's various different types of stores. It's almost like a mall. Well, it is an outdoor mall, isn't it, at the end of the day? So you've got all of the sort of traditional stores you would have in a mall. It's got obviously coffee shops. It's got restaurants as well. I also enjoy walking just when the weather's not too hot. Maybe I just enjoy walking through downtown Summerlin. It's always great. I grab a coffee there next to Macy's, and then I just take a walk through the area, and some great stores. And also, everyone always seems in a good vibe. It always seems like a good energy around that area as well. Right next to downtown Summerlin as well, you've got the Las Vegas Ballpark, which is the home of the Las Vegas Aviators, the minor league baseball team. And then also during holiday season, they turn it into Enchant Las Vegas as well, which is really pretty. We went a couple of years ago. It actually snowed on that day, which was really cold. I felt like I was back in the UK. But it's gorgeous. Some great shots that you can get there for Instagram. They've got so many different lights and a little maze thing, little ice skating rink, some really nice hot cocoa as well. So that's what they do there. Aside from downtown Summerlin and all of the great, and they also have some really good parades actually, different events during the year, whether it's St. Patrick's Day or whether it's Halloween, whether it's holiday season. There's some really good parades and events that go on as well on downtown Summerlin. So check out the website and sort of have a look at some of those events. And even if you don't move to Summerlin, you can still go and check out those free events as well. Then you have Tivoli Village, which again has, it's more boutique-y, I'd say, than downtown Summerlin, but some great stores there as well, if that's the sort of vibe and energy you want. Obviously, Costco is going to be important, so you do have a Costco in Summerlin as well. And then there's various other little shopping areas within the Summerlin area, various little restaurants as well at other parts. And obviously at Red Rock Casino, you've got some really nice restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants is there, Yard House. Those of you who have met up with me and we've maybe looked at homes over that side of town, we've probably met in Yard House at some point. I just love their menu. I love their beers on tap. I love their cocktails. I mean, they've got everything really. So if you are coming into town and you want to meet up and you want to look in Summerlin and you fancy Yard House, we'll definitely arrange that. So definitely do get in touch. But that's some of the shopping and dining options within the area. And we're going to move on to point number 3 now. So the next point is going to be very important if you are moving with school-aged children and schooling is a concern, or maybe kids are part of your future plans, or maybe you just realize that buying a home that's going to be close to good schools is definitely going to be a better investment because that's going to hold its value over time, right? So for me, the schools in Summerlin are amongst the best in Las Vegas. There's about 14 public schools, about 11 private schools, nationally recognized private schools. There's also a charter school as well. So depending on what schooling route you want to go to, if you're happy with the public schools, then you're going to be fine. If you want to go private, well, you're going to have a whole host of options. Bishop Gorman is one of the best and, again, nationally recognized private schools. And then there is a charter school as well. And there also is a really good homeschooling community all over Las Vegas. And obviously, Summerlin supports that as well. So depending on what schooling route you want to go to, you're definitely not going to be disappointed. If you've started the research and you've probably done a little bit of research already, you might have read or heard that the Clark County School District is amongst the worst in the country. That's no lie. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. It's constantly ranked as probably around about 49 out of 50, so only one is worse than us, and I believe it's over in Hawaii. The rest, you know, for me though, you need to take it into context, and it's also the 5th largest school district in the country, so there's going to be a mixed bag of schools when you've got that amount of schools, that amount of students, and also covers a big area as well. There's probably certain schools within the valley that do bring the average down, and that's what it is, isn't it? It's an average, so the good ones are going to be drowned out by the not so good ones. I think if you took the Summerlin schools and even the Henderson schools and Boulder City schools, if you took those out of the Clark County School District and has them as their own school district, they would be up there amongst the best in the country. And as I said, if you do your research on greatschools.org, on niche.com, and then on the Clark County School District website, then you'll actually see where I'm coming from with this. And if you want more information, then reach out on my contact details below and we can have that conversation offline, or we can talk about schooling one-on-one, because obviously I'm a parent myself. I have 5 kids. 4 of them are in elementary at the end. 4 of them are in elementary, sorry. That's a tongue twister, elementary at the moment. So I understand how important choosing the right schools are, and that's what we decided as a family. But you'll see, you know, even Palo Verde High School, which is one of the best high schools in the Las Vegas area, that's going to be one of your main high schools in Summerlin as well. So if schooling is important and you're worried and anxious and nervous, I think if you're looking at Summerlin, then you're definitely not going to go wrong. And as I said, just reach out and I'll happily talk to you about schools, because I know how important and a big deal it can be as well. The next thing to know about Summerlin is the outdoor recreation. And my gosh, outdoor recreation, Summerlin nails it. I mean, if you're just thinking parks alone, there's around about 260 parks within the master planned community of Summerlin. And we have to remember, it's a master planned community. It's not a city. 260 parks, that's a phenomenal amount of green spaces to enjoy. Some of those might be within the gated communities, obviously, but if you compare that to Henderson, Henderson only has about 68 or so parks within the city. Yes, it's also adding more parks as different communities do expand. You know, Cadence and Inspirada being a couple of the more prominent ones that have the new construction and new parks going in there. But Summerlin is also adding new parks as well, as they are adding new communities within the area. 260 parks. You can have a whole variety of different things to enjoy in those parks, whether it's children's play areas, climbing structures for the kids, whether it's splash pads, whether there's some swimming pools, whether it's sports fields like soccer, baseball, basketball, skate parks, there's roller parks, there's, oh my gosh, I mean, there's volleyball courts, there's tennis courts, pickleball courts. I mean, I could list so many different great activities just in the parks alone, which is incredible to go and enjoy. And these are free parks to go and enjoy as well. So definitely great. This time of year when the weather's starting to get warmer as well, it's always great to see after school or at the weekends. So many families just out in those parks having fun, making memories with their children. It gives me the warm and fuzzies whenever I see that as a parent. It just goes straight to my heart as well. It's what we love doing with our kids. So it's always great seeing other families get involved in that as well. But then there's about 150 miles of trails, and those trails link the parks and the different villages and different points throughout the Summerlin community as well. So if you love walking or cycling, then that's definitely going to be good for you. Also, within some of the parks, there's going to be dog parks, and one of the things I love about the dog parks, and I'm hoping we can have a dog eventually as our kids get a little bit older, is quite often they're segregated into two different dog parks. You'll have a place for the smaller dogs and a place for the bigger dogs, and that for me, I think it just makes it even better. You can just let your small dogs run off and not worry about a big dog being in the same park as well. So definitely, if you have dogs, Vegas is very pet friendly, and Summerlin has so many great dog parks for them to go and enjoy as well. Then if you like hiking, obviously we have Red Rock National Conservation Area. I mean, that's gorgeous. There's some great hikes in there as well. Again, this time of year around March, April is a real good time to do it. Or on the flip side, as we're coming out of summer as well, where the temperatures are still warm, but they're not too warm either, like at the height of summer. So definitely, if you like hiking, then Red Rock is going to be great for you. If you like the views but don't like hiking, then there is a little, I think it's a 1 mile loop you can drive through and around. There's various little different stop-offs that you can do as well. Take some pictures for Instagram, make it maybe look like you've been on the hike. Some great views. So I think outdoor recreation is amazing. Another thing to know about Summerlin is the HOA. I know some of you aren't fans of HOA. I read the comments. I actually always reply back to the comments where I can as well. I love engaging with you guys in comments. So drop me a comment below and let me know what you think of my videos, if you're enjoying them, if they've been helpful. What have been your biggest takeaways from either this video or any of the other videos that I filmed? Just let me know. Even if you just want to say good job, Peter, definitely helps my channel grow, because then that helps the YouTube algorithm. So then the YouTube gods will put me in front of more people, and I can help more people with deciding or even moving here. So definitely drop me a comment. But obviously I see in the comments and I see people are not happy with HOAs or not enjoying living in a HOA, or maybe had bad experiences with HOAs. So I can totally understand it. In Summerlin, it is a master planned community, and a master planned community is this big community or sometimes a small community, and it tries to bake in a lot of the amenities. Sometimes there might be parks with part of it, maybe swimming pools, maybe not outdoor recreation, maybe there's going to be schooling, maybe there's going to be stores. They want to have it as much of it within the community as possible. So Summerlin is a humongous, probably the biggest master planned community in the Las Vegas area, and it will have a HOA. Every master planned community will have a HOA. The HOA in Summerlin is around $60 a month. It just recently went up. It was $55, now it's $60 a month. And then if you're living in other parts of Summerlin, maybe in a gated community, guard-gated community, then you're going to have a second sub-association fee on there as well. Sometimes that can be an extra 100, 150, 200, even more, just depends on the different village, different community, and what that sub-association is. But as a starting point, every home in the Summerlin area is going to be part and subject to a HOA. Make sure if you are purchasing a home in the Summerlin area, make sure you get a copy of the resale pack. That's going to contain your CC&Rs, your conditions, covenants, and restrictions. So that's going to tell you more about the things that you're not allowed to do and what you're going to be restricted on, and what some of the conditions are of having a home in that area. So make sure you get that and take the time to read it. Unfortunately, we can't get that beforehand. We can only get it when we have an offer accepted on a home in the Summerlin area. But you do get 5 days to review, and I'd say use those 5 days because it is going to be quite chunky to read. And then obviously if there's a sub-association, you get one for that as well. But have a read through it. I mean, I've never had an issue with the Summerlin HOA. Quite often I have to go in there to collect the resale package, and they're always super helpful, always super friendly. Whenever I had questions for buyers as well about things they want to do with their home, they've always tried to find a way to make it work. Obviously, you just have to send it for approval, but they always tell me, we can make it happen. So definitely I can see the drawbacks on a HOA. Some HOAs are good, some are awful, and we definitely have some awful ones here. Personally, I don't think Summerlin is one of the awful ones though. And as I said, $60 a month is going to cover all of those amenities and all the great things to enjoy in Summerlin, really. And then the final point, I think I saved the coolest point for last, and that's the elevation in Summerlin. Summerlin on average is around about 3,500 feet above sea level. Parts of it maybe rise to about maybe 4,400 feet above sea level, and As most of you know, the higher you go above sea level, then the cooler the temperatures are going to be. As a comparison, the Las Vegas Strip is probably around about 15 to 2,000 feet above sea level. Same for the airport. So if you compare the temperatures then and the difference in temperatures, it's probably going to be around 4 degrees, maybe 4 to 7 degrees, I'd say, is the range, cooler in the Summerlin area. And to some people, that might not sound like a lot. 4 degrees, that isn't a lot. 7 degrees, not a lot. In the summer, when temperatures are in the 110s, 115s, sometimes even more, close to 120, that difference in temperature is definitely going to make a difference, and you're going to feel it. And sometimes because you're closer to the mountains, you get more of a breeze as well. Obviously, on the flip side of that, then in the winter, it is a bit cooler. Sometimes there's little snow flurries, nothing major like a blizzard. Obviously, the winds are quite colder there as well in the winter, but I think for me, it's fantastic because I love when we're showing homes in Summerlin in the summer because it just feels a bit cooler. I love shooting homes in Summerlin as well and videoing homes or whatever it is I can to help you guys. So if you're thinking, oh, it's going to be too hot, I really don't want to be living somewhere where it's too hot, but I love the idea of Vegas, then I think Summerlin can work for you as well because that elevation is going to make a difference. And also with that elevation, you're going to have some really good views, whether you got mountain views or also some of those views looking back towards the strip is also going to be amazing because you're going to be higher up. So looking back across to the east of the valley is going to be some gorgeous views as well. But for me, the main point of the elevation is going to be it actually affects the temperatures, and your temperatures in Summerlin are going to be a little bit cooler as well. 4 to 7 degrees, I would say, in that range. Probably no cooler than 7 degrees cooler than the rest of Vegas. Maybe if you go more further east, actually might even be a bit more cooler than the far east side. But Summerlin on the west side, I'd say, yeah, 4 to 7 degrees cooler, and because of that great elevation. Let me know if that feels like that'll be a difference to you and that'll be something that appeals to you or not. Let me know in the comments below. And that's it, guys. That's some things to know about living in Summerlin. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, please give me a like. Also, if you have found it useful, let me know in the comments below. Or if there's any other video ideas or topics or content you want me to cover about living in Vegas, relocating to Vegas, different neighborhoods, pop that down in the comments below because I want to give you the type of content that's going to be important for you and help you making that decision as well. So definitely let me know and I'll try and make it happen on the next videos for you. If you haven't already, then please subscribe and tap on the bell for notifications, and then you'll be notified whenever I release a video. I try to release them on a Saturday morning, but sometimes, depending on schedule, sometimes it might be a little bit later or on a Sunday, or even maybe even a Monday. So definitely if you've got that bell on, you'll be notified as soon as I release a new video. And also then just one final reminder, if you are considering moving to the Las Vegas or Henderson area, please get in touch however you're comfortable, whenever you're ready. All my details are there on the screen. And I would really love to represent you on moving here and helping you purchase your next home in the Las Vegas area. But until the next time, thank you for watching. You take care.